Insulin resistance. It is almost like the buzzword in town. I walk up to my circle of friends and everyone seems to be nodding their heads saying, "Yeah, I know." But do you really know? Can you explain it clearly and simply to a 6-year-old? Or to your family? Or even to yourself? Everyone has some vague idea. And yes, Dr. A, B, C, and D have all explained it on YouTube. Here is part of the Mayo Clinic's version I found on YouTube. It says, insulin resistance, often referred to as prediabetes, is when you eat food, your body converts it into dietary sugars. Insulin is a hormone released by the pancreas that tells your cells to open up to that sugar and convert it into energy. With insulin resistance, the cells do not respond and do not open up, leading to excessive sugar in the blood. And I don't know about you, but my reaction to that is, okay, so what? How does that become the belly fat that refuses to go away no matter what you try? I want to explain this in a way that turns you into the hero of your next dinner table conversation, the person at the coffee break who finally makes it click for everyone else. A story simple enough to tell your partner, your family, your friends, and clear enough that they actually want to make a change. Let us get into it. This is an analogy that I would like to use. Imagine your body is a city, a busy, functioning city that runs on energy that is stored in warehouses. Your body city has 3 main warehouses, all managed by a chief operating officer, the pancreas, that sits at headquarters. The muscle warehouse. This is a good warehouse with a lot of capacity, well managed, and it actually burns through its stock whenever you move. The more you use your muscles, the more energy is consumed, and the more space opens up in the storage. It is the warehouse you want running the show. Then there is the liver warehouse. This is the backup storage. It holds a reserve of energy for emergencies, like when you have not eaten for a while and your brain needs fuel fast. It is useful, but it has limited space. And then you have the belly fat warehouse. This is the problematic one. It has almost unlimited capacity, and unlike the muscle warehouse, it rarely burns through its stock on its own, because fat is a slow-burning fuel that your body only taps into when conditions are right. The more it fills up, the more trouble it causes. And when we talk about losing belly fat, this is the warehouse we are trying to empty. This is what a normal day, a normal person, a normal city should feel like. You eat some carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, tiny energy boxes, and they pile up on the streets of your city. That street is your bloodstream. Glucose just floating around in the blood is not useful on its own. It needs to get into the warehouses to be stored and used as energy. So your body sends out delivery trucks. Those trucks are insulin, and their job is simple. Drive to the muscle warehouse, knock on the door, and say, "Open up, we have boxes to deliver." Now, why does the muscle warehouse get priority? It is the largest and most active warehouse in the entire city. It has the most capacity, and unlike the others, it actually burns through its stock whenever you move. The body is smart. It sends energy where it will be most useful first. So, on a normal day, the muscle warehouse opens wide, takes most of the boxes, and the street clears fast. Blood sugar returns to normal. Insulin trucks go back to base. Everything works perfectly. But for most of us, that is not the whole story. Now you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. This body city has been running for quite some time. You have been consuming freely: rice, bread, Coke, gummy bears, chocolate, ice cream, banana cakes, you name it. And we all have our ups and downs with exercise. By and large, in this modern age, most of us are not that physically active. So what happens to all this stored energy in the warehouse, especially the muscle warehouse that gets the deliveries first? Remember, the muscle warehouse stores energy for movement, packed into ready-to-use bundles called glycogen. When you move, it burns through those bundles and creates space for new deliveries. But if you are not moving much, those bundles just sit there. The warehouse stays full. It is always full, and it starts to get a little defensive. The insulin trucks keep arriving, knocking on the door. More boxes, open up the door. But the muscle warehouse manager looks at his full shelves and thinks, if I keep accepting every delivery, I'm going to get damaged. So he starts ignoring the trucks. He stops answering the doors quickly. He takes fewer boxes each time. This is insulin resistance. The warehouse is not broken. It is protecting itself. But the result is that glucose boxes start piling up on the street with nowhere to go. And that is exactly what high blood sugar means in real life. Too much glucose stuck in your bloodstream with no place to go. Pancreas HQ starts to panics. Now, Pancreas HQ looks out at the street, sees boxes still piling up, and panics. Not enough trucks, it thinks. Send more. So it produces even more insulin trucks. More trucks arrive. They knock louder. Eventually, the boxes get cleared, for now, and blood sugar looks okay on the surface. But here is what is happening underneath. The liver warehouse topped up its backup reserve long ago. It has limited space, and it is already full. So all that overflow has only one place left to go, the belly fat warehouse. And the belly fat warehouse? Fat cells are perfectly designed for long-term storage. Unlike muscle cells, they never push back. The belly fat warehouse keeps its doors wide open and never says no to the insulin delivery trucks. So now you have chronically full warehouses and a constant store energy signal running through your body around the clock. Here is where it gets worse, the vicious cycle. As the belly fat warehouse gets severely overcrowded, the fat cells inside start becoming stressed and dysfunctional. And stressed fat cells do something interesting. They start sending out distress signals throughout the city. Chemical messages that say something is wrong in here. Those signals reach the muscle warehouse. And here is the problem. The muscle warehouse was already resistant, already reluctant to open its doors. But these distress signals make that resistance harder and harder to reverse. It is no longer just ignoring the trucks, it is bolting the door shut. So Pancreas HQ sends even more trucks. More insulin means more store energy signal. More store energy signal means more fat being deposited. More fat means more distress signals. More distress signals mean the muscle warehouse door gets harder to reopen. Round and round it goes. High insulin levels around the clock. Easy fat storage, hard fat burning. And you are stuck. When it finally breaks. If this goes on long enough, something eventually gives. The workers on the factory floor at HQ, responsible for producing insulin trucks, gradually burn out from years of overproduction. The truck factory slows down. Eventually, it cannot keep up anymore. In real life, this means your pancreas is losing its ability to produce sufficient insulin. The boxes pile up permanently on the street. Blood sugar stays high. That is type 2 diabetes. Your doctor then prescribes external insulin injections. This is like an emergency backup trucks sent in from outside. Those external trucks are powerful. They signal every warehouse in the city to open up. The muscle warehouse, already deeply resistant, responds weakly. It takes a huge signal just to get a small response. Muscle does not grow bigger or stronger from this. It simply accepts a little more glucose temporarily. But the belly fat warehouse responds readily, keeps expanding, and accepts every delivery. The street gets cleared and blood sugar readings improve. But the uncomfortable truth is that external insulin tends to push more energy into fat storage than muscle. Which is why fat gain, particularly around the midsection, is one of the most common side effects of insulin medication. Before it becomes irreversible. If you think about the boxes, the deliveries, and the warehouses, we all want to bring this city back to the normal state we talked about at the start, right? Where the street clears fast, the muscle warehouse opens wide, and the insulin trucks go back to base. We need to cut down the number of deliveries coming in. We need to clear the warehouses so they have room again. And we need to stop the constant truck knocking that is causing the muscle warehouse to keep its doors shut. A few simple approaches can help alleviate the situation, especially in the earlier stages before the system is too far gone. Clear the muscle warehouse, move more, burn through the stock, make room. Pancreas HQ naturally sends fewer insulin trucks. Fewer trucks means less store energy signal. Less store energy signal means the belly fat warehouse stops receiving constant deliveries. Eat right, eat a little less, and the glucose spike drops. The insulin spike drops, and slowly the city starts to breathe again. We cover 5 simple walking approaches that help do exactly this in another video. Go and take a watch. The link is in the description. So, what is insulin resistance? This is your elevator speech, and you can use the analogies to explain the rest. Your muscle cells stop listening to insulin. Glucose has nowhere to go. It stays in your bloodstream. And your body, trying to fix it, keeps pumping out more insulin, which keeps telling your fat cells to store more. High blood sugar, growing belly fat, and a system that gets harder to fix the longer you ignore it. I sincerely hope this video and the analogies make it easier to understand, and that you can now influence your loved ones to prevent or rectify related situations promptly, confidently, and convincingly. If this helps, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Train smarter, not harder. See you in the next one.